The company's performance, I would like to mention that some statements made in today's discussion may be forward-looking in nature and may involve risks and uncertainties. After the end of this call, in case you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to the investor relations team. I will now hand over the call to Mr. Jeevan Handa, our CFO, to make the opening comments. Over to you, Mr. Handa.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome. I am Jeevan Handa, CFO. I am pleased to interact with all of you on the Venky's earnings call. I hope you have gone through the results and the related details. Venky's has registered good performance for the quarter. The poultry and poultry product segment registered a good growth of 13.24%, whereas in total it is 5.84% for the quarter as compared to the corresponding quarter last year. Profit before tax has been significantly higher due to improved realization from the sale of day-old chicks and grown-up broilers. The animal health product segment performance has been good. The oil feed segment performance has been satisfactory. The CapEx program undertaken during the last year for the expansion of SPF eggs capacity and setting up of third solvent extraction plant and vegetable oil refinery have been completed. Full benefit of these projects will be reflected from the next financial year onward. On the borrowing front, the company has further brought down the term loan and working capital limits during the quarter, which has helped to reduce the interest cost. On the cash flow front, during the 9 months ended 31st December 2020, we have generated a net cash flow from the operations of about rupees 216 crores, which was utilized towards a reduction in bank borrowing, new capital expenditure of projects, and a reduction in creditors as well as built-up of inventories. Company's debt to equity ratio has improved from 0.36 as of 31st March 2020 to 0.220 as of 31st December 2020. As regards impact due to COVID-19 pandemic, after facing several challenges in the initial few months, I am pleased to mention that Venky's business segments are back in track and presently we have reached almost the pre-COVID operations level from business volume point of view. Bird flu is another factor which has temporarily disrupted the poultry product segment. During January 2021, the realizations from the sale of day-old chicks and grown-up broilers had gone down, but it is on the way of recovery. Presently, there are indications that the negative impact is gradually coming down, and we expect that the overall situation in the terms of sales volume and the realization will improve. Improvement is already visible as the prices of grown-up broiler prices have gone up from the low of rupees 42 per kg to rupees 60 per kg in the northern states. Similarly, the day-old chick prices have improved from the low of rupees 15 to rupees 25 per chick. More on the bird flu impact from technical perspective will be explained by Dr. P.G. Petgaonkar when questions on the subject come up. With this briefing on the financial performance, we now would like to answer your queries. You may please go ahead with your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone wishing to ask a question may please press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Kalpesh Koti from Valentis Advisors. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir, and congratulations for a very great set of numbers. And this is our maiden con call. Hope this event will continue every quarter. So my first question is related to bird flu. What is the outlook for the poultry segment for Q4, especially after the bird flu? and can give your view on the bird flu impact on our company specific.
Yeah, thank you for this question, because this question I think is a generalized question, and that represents the question related to bird flu and concern related to bird flu. See, as we say that bird flu is not at all new as far as India is concerned, because from last so many years, every January and February, this bird flu incidence has been reported. From technical perspective, if you see the bird flu, the most susceptible creatures which are there in migratory birds who are more susceptible and they are free in a movement. Of course, many of the times they are carrier and they get in contact with the birds which are from unorganized sector or a desi sector. To second. Third are the ducks which are susceptible in terms of susceptibility chronology. And fourth comes are the aged birds which are more susceptible like layer birds or broiler breeders. And last comes is the commercial broiler.
Right.
Of a bird flu. However, if you talk from the overall impact of bird flu, the impact of bird flu to the poultry industry will be different, and the impact of bird flu as a Venki's per se will be different. I will say so because if you talk of Venki's has got almost 46 to 48% of the poultry turnover, and rest of the turnover comes from other segment like oilseed segment or AHP segment. In poultry segment also there are different segments like SPF, processed food, and then commercial chick sale, broiler chick sale, and grown-up broiler birds. As a consumer or as a news reader, definitely it's a matter of concern who reads that the broiler bird prices have gone down from 80 rupees to 45 rupees or 50 rupees. However, if you talk from Venki's perspective, the grown-up broiler bird segment is not at all 100% segment as a Venki's, and it is not even 46% of the poultry because it is coming less than 40%. And that's the reason why, as far as shock of bird flu is
आपण ज्या व्यक्तीसोबत बोलत आहात त्या व्यक्तीने आपला
Yeah, sorry, there was some disruption. Yeah. So as far as poultry industry's impact of bird flu is concerned is different, and industry, Venki's India Limited impact of bird flu is completely different. And as far as the prices are concerned, I'm sure the usual phenomena in past, if we see that whenever such kind of incidences of bird flu or any kind of shock comes, after 1.5 months to 2 months, the overall prices have gone up, and that's the past history and as per the record.
Yeah. So, So one more question related to this. The price, you said that after the event occurs, the price goes up. That was we exactly seen in the after COVID. The price dipped and then again they shoot up. So my question is related to volume. Is our volume impacted during January, or any of our farm has closed for a period of a few months, a few days?
As far as poultry cycle is concerned, if you see, whatever the production comes in the month of January is already placed 1.5 months back, and that crop has come for a maturity in the month of January. So also whatever we are placing in the month of January, that crop will be ready exactly after 40 to 45 days. So the impact of availability of those birds will come at the fag end of February. So as far as our placement in numbers are concerned, actually it cannot get abruptly changed because of any kind of incidences.
Okay, so by that time, the broiler price will recover.
Yes.
Okay. So my second question related to why soya segment profit low for Q3, and whether low profit continue in Q4.
No, the soya profits are not low; they are consistent. If you look at it, the overall situation of the soybean, low, turnover is lower, but the profit has been comparatively better. See here, soybean profit is normally derived on the basis of processing what we do. In the month of November and all, because of the holidays, the effect is there on the processing. Profits are based on the amount of a seed we crushed applicable for that. And fourth quarter also we don't see, the consistency of the soybean profits are maintained. And I am confident and hopeful that same consistency will maintain in the fourth quarter also.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Akshay Satija from Alpha Invesco. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. Congratulations on great set of numbers. I just had a few questions. So could you help me with the volumes and value for DOC broiler and layers, 9 months and for financial year 20?
What? Sorry. The volume related to DOC for the period ended April to December, you are asking?
Yeah, for April to December and last year. For DOCs, for layers and boilers.
For DOC?
For layer and broiler.
Boilers and layers. Okay.
For the period April to December 20 versus April to December 19, the volume has definitely impacted because the period was COVID-19. Not much replacement in terms of broiler chicks as well as layer chicks. Of no movement of stocks, no movement of manpower and all. So that was affected up till June. But July onward, again it has started coming back to the volumes for broiler as well as layer. In September, October, November, now it is coming back to the normal. But only in this January, it may again affect due to bird flu. But up till December, it is back to the original volume, which was before pre-COVID in regard to the layer chicks, DOC, as well as the broiler chicks, DOC.
Okay. If you could just roughly share what is the volume number. So we used to actually share it in our annual report pre-2017. So if you could just share the volume numbers for 20.
Okay.
Hello.
The average number for broiler chicks was 7 crore 85 lakh from April to December 20, whereas from April to this is for April to December 20, broiler chicks 7 crore 85 lakh. For layer chicks it was 5 crore 17 lakh, and grown up birds was 4 crore 96 lakh.
This is for this year.
But this is for this year.
It is available.
Okay.
And last year data is already available in the balance sheet, financials.
Okay. Sir, one more question I had regarding the poultry feed. Sir, could you help me with what sort of formulation do we have for poultry feed? So, is it 70% maize? So, what's the proportion of maize and soya for the poultry feed that we manufacture?
See, in the poultry feed, basically, it is a combination of different materials, but on account of energy part or on account of protein part, it is a mix. For example, on account of energy, it may be of maize, it may be of bajra or any other element which is forming a part of energy. Similarly, on account of protein, it may be a soya or it may be a other rice gluten oil and all different combinations are there, which are varying from month to month or depending on the weather conditions and all.
Okay. So one last question, sir. Sir, so the COGS that we've reported, the 593 crores, I just wanted to understand what's the key raw material here. Is it mainly soya and maize or whatever the energy or protein source that we have, or does that number also include some purchase of broilers from our parent company or outside?
See, the cost of raw material consumed for the period ended December 2020 9-month period is 1465 crore against the last December 19 is 19 crore 70 lakhs. The reduction in the cost of material is basically on account of maize as well as other ingredients like even soya. The prices were not so high as against in the last year. Even the consumption was also down in the first quarter, April, May, June, on account of the consumption. So the numbers on account of raw material consumed is on the lower side if we compare 9 months this year versus 9 months last year on account of the rate part of maize and soya as well as the quantity consumed is also on the lower side.
No, I understand that, but the question I was asking is, so the cost of materials consumed, so for 9 months we've reported 1465 crores. So that, so excluding purchase of bearer biological assets and stock in trade and change in inventory, excluding all of that, I just wanted to understand how much is towards the animal feed from this part. So how much COGS, so maybe 60%, 70% COGS is towards the animal feed production, and the rest is purchase of broilers or parent breeds. So just wanted to understand the ratio there in COGS. Hello?
This includes the cost of material consumed. It includes all feed ingredients as well as the parent broiler chicks which are required for the build-up of inventory, and all medicines and amino acids and all.
Okay. Okay. So final question, sir, on animal health segment, could you give us a rough cost for so how much cost is required, how much of animal health is required per bird? If I have to look at it, so we've sold somewhere 9 crore broilers, grown-up birds. So how much animal health cost for per bird is required?
In case of animal health, we have actually a different kind of 3 species, like the breeders, the layers, and the broilers. Then apart from that, it depends on the requirement at particular moment. There may be a treatment cost or regular formulations. So this can vary. There is no generally a fixed cost for that.
How much could be the regular cost, except for the vaccinations for treatments and?
Generally, what we see in the broilers, generally with the 1 rupee per bird is the average cost generally a farmer takes place per month for the animal health product line. Yes.
Okay. And we are self-sufficient in that, or we do buy some from outside, or is it we are self-sufficient and we sell the rest in the market?
As far as the group companies are concerned, Venky's has a full product line which can sufficiently take care of all the in-house requirements. Depends on 75 to 80% of requirements are filled by the group company pharmaceuticals. Yes.
Okay. So final question, if you could throw some light on the related party transactions, the number is really huge. Like I think 40 to 50% of our sales is inside the group, and even purchase of raw materials is heavy. So if you could just throw some light and give us some idea what's happening there.
So as for the interrelated transaction within group companies, Venky's is in selling the soya product, meal for the feed mills to all the group companies, and similarly AHP segment is also selling the products to all the group companies, and on the similar line, Venky's is also buying the broiler parent and layer parent from the group companies, and at some places feed is being sold as well as purchased in group companies also. Somewhere where we have the feed mills, like Venky's having the feed mill for captive consumption, they don't need the feed, but wherever their presence is there, but they don't have the feed mill infrastructure, in that case the feed may be purchased from the group companies only. Similarly, the vaccine is being purchased from Venkateshwara group of companies by Venky's all around, because that is the division with VHPL only.
So no broilers and DOCs are sold to group companies?
A group transaction between the group companies.
Okay, so no DOCs or broilers are sold to another group companies like parent, or just wanted to clarify.
Again, the similar case of feed. In case our presence, Venky's presence is there and having the production facilities and having the order, they are selling the DOC from their own resources only. Wherever they are having the order, but they are not having the manufacturing facilities, they may take that buying of chicks, trading of chicks for the layer as well as broiler, just to fulfill the marketing requirement. But that is very much minimal, because wherever the territory area is of Venky's, they are having the production facilities, and very rare case they are buying the layer chicks as well as broiler chicks from the group company.
Okay. Okay. Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you so much, sir. That's it from my side. Thank you so much for answering my question.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anirudh Joshi from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. So considering this is first call, so I would like to ask certain question for everybody. So can you just suggest or indicate what is the market size of poultry market in India? Then what is the growth in the market? Also, India per capita consumption of chicken and eggs is relatively low. So what are the triggers that will drive the growth, and how is it is changing in maybe past 5 or 10 years? Then also indicating about the organized and unorganized ratio, because large part of the industry is in a way unorganized. So in both poultry feed as well as absolute poultry products. So how is the organized to unorganized ratio? Which are the key players? So Venky's is one. Then what are the other players in India? And again, so emergence of QSR, quick service restaurants, has in a way again is driving the demand for out of home. So how do you see the out of home demand shaping up? And in general, how is the chicken consumption happening in house as well as out of home? Yeah, these are my questions.
Okay, thanks. Actually, this is different questions, so I will answer one by one. As far as poultry market and size of poultry industry is concerned in India, we have to consider the food habit at present, what is there in Indian food culture. Almost 70% of the food habit as of now recorded by Government of India is a non-vegetarian eater, and 30% are vegetarians. So accordingly, as far as proportion non-veg to veg is concerned, it's a 70 to 30. Then second part is total industry size is concerned. It's growing every year to the tune of 8 to 10%. And as of now, as far as broiler industry is concerned, it is 75,000 to 80,000 crore turnover per year. And as far as layer industry is concerned, it is approximately 45 to 50,000 crore turnover per year. So both put together, this industry size is 1.4 lakh crore turnover as far as the total turnover is concerned. Coming to per capita consumption, every year per capita consumption is growing steadily, and as of now, we are sitting at 4.5 to 4.6 kg of per capita consumption. If we compare this with the developed nations are 40 kg plus. Developing nations, they are approximately 11 kg around. And if you take world average, the world average states that 14 kg of chicken consumption is the average chicken consumption of a world. So we are only 1/3 as far as world average is concerned. Coming to egg consumption, per capita consumption of egg right now, whatever India has recorded, is 75 to 76 eggs per capita consumption. That also stands even 1/3 of, if you talk of world average or the developed nations and developing nations. So there is a lot of scope as far as chicken consumption and egg consumption is concerned, and it's a long way to go as far as building the production capacity and fulfilling the requirement of growing sectors and growing consumption of chicken and eggs. Your second question was organized to unorganized ratio. Recently, Government of India has published a data wherein they have completed the complete survey of all India poultry, wherein now it states that almost 78% of the production coming from organized sector and 22% of the production is coming from unorganized sector, which are called as a backyard sector or desi birds. So that is the proportionate as far as organized to unorganized poultry is concerned. As far as key players are concerned, I will hand over this to Dr. Tizare, because your next questions were related to QSR and who are the key organized players as far as processing is concerned. And over to you, Dr. Tizare, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. See, in the processing of a chicken, what we record is 95% of the broilers are sold as a live broilers, or it's a live market or a weight market. And around 5% of the broilers are processed for the processing and for the further processing. And this is one. And the key players in the processing, along with Venky's, is also Venkateshwara Hatcheries Limited,
and then we have Godrej Tyson, we have Sumeru, and newly introduced is CP and Baramati Agro. These are the national players. Along with national players, there are various regional players also in this sector who are producing a raw chicken or deboned meat or also further processed products. The emergence of QSRs, yes, there are large number of QSRs are already present in India. The naming few QSRs, we have KFC, we have Pizza Hut, we have Burger King, and then we have Taco Bell, we have McDonald's. These are the few leading companies. And Venky's is proud that we are the prominent suppliers to the quick service restaurant chains like KFC, Pizza Hut, then Burger King, McDonald's. Practically, majority of the QSRs are being served by a group company. Am I answered your questions or?
Yeah, sir, many thanks for that. So what are the growth strategies that the company is looking at? So maybe from a 3-year perspective or 5-year perspective, do you have any growth plan, growth vision in mind that you want to reach to X turnover, or you want to steadily grow the business by X%, or you have any market share target? What is current market share and where you want to look at the market share after a period of 5 years?
Yeah, as my colleague has expressed to you that we experience a growth potential in a market for the broiler chicken to around 8% to 10%. But as you are aware, there are very good opportunities for the exports on a processed food sector because of the urbanization in India. The consumers are looking for the convenience, and there is a large population, middle class population in India, and there is very good retail marketing has been established in India with a good cold chain. So with that, we are looking for a good jump in a processed food sector, and what we expect is that it should be minimum 25% growth in a processed food sector. Other than the QSR sector, this will be only for the retail market. So that's our thought process. And in continuation to that, we are also supporting this consumer demands by developing certain new products on a regular basis. So earlier we started with the breaded products in chicken sector like chicken nuggets, chicken burger patties and others. Now we came up with a range of easy to cook or ready to eat products which are completely cooked products, and they are available to the consumers like butter chicken or chicken masala. These are the ready products available to the consumers. So we are hitting to a sector which is the demand of the consumer, and we conduct a regular survey with our marketing team conducts a survey with the consumers for their demand, and we are developing products from our R&D on a regular basis in tune with the demand.
Okay, thank you, sir. That is very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is on the line of Avnish Chandra from East India Securities. Please go ahead.
Congratulations, sir, on a great set of numbers, and thank you very much for starting this conference call practice. Hope it will be continued. So, sir, my first question is, company has earlier announced your plan to increase fast food outlets. So, how many are there now, and what is the target for next 2-3 years in this business?
As you are aware, Venky's has started earlier Venky's Chicken Experience. And
sorry to interrupt. Mr. Avnish Chandra, sir, there's a lot of disturbance from your line. Can you mute your line when you're not speaking?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Venky started with a restaurant chains called as Venky's Chicken Express, and these are the takeaway joints which we started at initial basis. And we got a good response to this, and then we started with a new concept of joining a franchisee to partner with our business. And now we started a franchisee business in the name of Venky's Chicken Experience. So these are the new outlets, and we have presently around 17 outlets of Chicken Express, Venky's Chicken Express, and 56 outlets for Venky's Chicken Experience. Now these franchisee outlets we are plan to have on a regional wise expansion, like in Western West side we will have an expansion from almost to 2.5 times in this coming year. Similarly, we have expansion plans lined up for the north. North we have a good presence of these outlets, so we'll be expanding also in the north to double, and similarly for east and south. So we have expansion plans lined up as per the regional basis everywhere. And our target would be A-grade cities and B-grade cities for this expansion part.
Okay. And sir, your capex plan in each of the business segment for next 2-3 years, and where we are at the capacity utilization in each of the business segment. If you could just highlight in each segment capacity utilization and capex plan.
Okay. In regard to capital plans, already in the year 1920 and 1890 and 1920, we have incurred 2 projects for SPF project expansion as well as for soya extraction plants. So those expenditure plans are already completed, and we are having the sufficient production facilities in our hand at all of our units, manufacturing units. So as of now, from here to next 3 years, roughly 40 to 50 crore is the capital expenditure every year. I mean 21, 22 and 22, 23, almost 40 to 50 crore is a capitalization, which will take care of the existing operations. I mean units where the capitalization is needed. But we are having the sufficient production facilities all around in terms of broiler chicks, in terms of layer chicks, in terms of soya extraction plants, feed mill, SPF as well as the AHP capacities. So as of now, up till 3 years, 40-50 crores every year would be the capital expenditure. Capacity wise, if we see as of December 20, layer parent and broiler parent capacity is used to the extent of 70 to 75%. Similarly, as of feed mill, 75% because it is backup with LP and BP. SPF facility is to the extent of 59% utilized because very recently we have built up a new capacity. And AHP powder section is utilized to the extent of 80%, 20% is still left out. And similarly, AHP liquid section is to the extent of 71%. Food processing is 50%. Soya extraction is to the extent of 65% is the capacity utilization. And again in soya, DOC is to the extent of 83% as well as the refined oil to the extent of 95% utilization. So all around in the different segments we are having the capacity utilization and then available capacity to take care of the marketing requirement for the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, sir, understood. And sir, this quarter we had hit 100 crore plus profit. So how, as a team, you are confident that at least this run rate would be continued in coming quarters?
Yes, this will be continued the next quarter also, but at the same time there are sometimes volume related issues and all. Those things will be there. Hopefully, we'll be doing better than the last year and maybe before the even last to last year also. We are trying our best because we are having the production facility capacities are available. So like January maybe a hit for 15-20 days, but that effect is also gone. So hopefully we'll utilize our capacity to the greater extent.
Okay, and one last question from my side. You have already explained bird flu factor. So, sir, apart from these kind of bird flu factors, what exactly are the other risk factors that you count in your business, especially on the poultry side?
Okay.
See, as far as livestock is concerned, this livestock industry has grown and matured to such a level that all the kind of risks are analyzed properly, and those risks are being taken care by prevention. We always believe that prevention is the best method to control any eventuality, and we are well prepared as far as prevention plan is concerned. So vaccination is one of the most important and effective tool for prevention of all the kind of diseases. As far as bird flu is concerned, of course, vaccines are international strategy. However, as per the strategy of Government of India, as of now, vaccination is not allowed. So that is the only reason because of which against bird flu, the birds are not vaccinated. However, all other risks which are already there or which were there, those were all taken properly, and all the vaccines are available as far as preventing any kind of eventuality or risk related to disease is concerned with regard to broilers and with regard to layers. So we are well equipped, and if Venki's cannot do, then on a very lighter note, or you might sound me overconfident, that's our strength because of the infrastructure and the kind of lab support we are having. Definitely we are sure that any kind of eventuality or any kind of risk, we are well prepared with those kind of infrastructure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All the best for maintaining this kind of performance. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Hitesh Mahida from HDFC Life. Please go ahead. Mr. Mahida, your line is in the talk mode. Please go ahead.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So, sir, just query on this profit run rate of 100 crore which we have been maintaining in last couple of quarters. Which has sort of revived from what we did in 3 and 4Q. So what has led to this revival, and what should be the run rate going ahead, and as far as the top line and bottom line is concerned?
So in regard to the top line, we are very well equipped with our production facilities which are available through at all the units in regard to all segments. So capacity percentage utilization is already explained. So we are having a sufficient scope to enhance the marketing requirement in case it is there. So we will be utilizing those facilities or capacities for the volume of layer chicks, broiler chicks, of all the segments rather, AHP, soya and all. So if those things are there, we will be definitely in line with the earlier quarter's performance or corresponding quarter in regard to the top line. Similarly, the bottom line would also be there. Reasons for increase in the profit is mainly due to the poultry segment, which has exceptionally performed to the greater extent because the prices of realization of day-old broiler chicks, day-old layer chicks, as well as the commercial broiler bird was very good in the last quarter. So that was the reason poultry has performed excellently. And similarly, if those numbers will be continued, even in this performance, if you see the quarterly, the December quarter, 13.24% is a turnover increase in this quarter. Similarly, in the animal products, it is 8.858% is a growth over the last corresponding quarter. And similarly, in the oil seeds, however, is not performed in line with the last quarter, but not given the good growth. But poultry itself has given a wonderful growth on the top line as well as the bottom line, which has made a 100 crore profit. What do you say?
Okay. And sir, how do you see these realizations going ahead, considering there has been a scare of bird flu and all? Has it had any impact on our realizations or volumes? And how do you see the trend going ahead?
Yes. Bird flu has impacted from in this January month. So January volumes have affected, realization has affected due to this thing. But that has also now slowly, getting over. So hopefully we are back to the prices say like broiler chicks, broiler birds, it was 40-42 rupees, which has come to up to the level of 60 rupees. So slowly we are coming up with the prices realization after this bird flu. Hopefully, again in the month of February, again the festivals are also there, which will drag the numbers as well as the realization in a big way. Positively, right?
Positively. Okay. And sir, this run rate of 100 crore, how do you see this going ahead in the coming year? Hello.
Yes. So for the forthcoming quarter or forthcoming period, we are hopeful for the better numbers over the previous period, but we are not having any specified number for those things, but we'll be definitely performing better than the previous period.
Okay. And sir, as far as the promoter group entity is concerned, so how is the bifurcation done between the two? I think you guys do in north and the listed entity does in north and west, and the unlisted entity does business in south and east. Is that how it works?
Venky is having a geographical demarcation, northern state, covering 11 states. Starting from Jammu Kashmir to Bihar, they are covering 11 states. Similarly, Venky's is also covering the west zone, west area, covering Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. So they are having almost 14 to 15 states catering the marketing requirement of poultry and poultry-related products all around.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shalini from Quantum Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Congratulations on fantastic results. I had a couple of questions. Sir, I first wanted to understand, you were talking about a lot of growth in your Venky's Express, basically in the processed food business. Sir, I mean, my last interaction, you people had indicated that business is actually not really so attractive because you're not really able to make profits. So what has changed now?
Hey, of course, this is very relative terms when you say that it is not really that much profitable, but it is a profitable business. And when we say it is a profitable business, and as I expressed to you in earlier my communication, first we started with Venky's Express, and now we join hands with our franchisees who are partnering us with the business. They are making a profit. They are propagating, they are maintaining that profit, and this profitability is definitely with them. So this gives us a good scope for expansion, because when our partner is also making a profit, it's a good win-win situation. And we are able to produce the products which are required to them. Even the consumers, they prefer the product, and they are giving a good response to these type of stores.
Okay, and sir, like if you could just speak about what was the volume growth in the quarter in poultry as well as oilseeds.
Oilseeds next year the performance will be there. For example, professional, the growth will be there.
Am I audible?
No.
Yes, and now you're audible.
Okay. In regard to the broiler chicks as well as the layer chicks numbers are concerned, this year Venky's has touched almost 4 crore 40 lakh layer chicks, which is likely to be there in 21-22 to the extent of almost 4 crore 80 lakh chicks. So similarly, in case of broiler chicks which are being placed to the, we are having almost 11 crore is a number for Venky's for the market, in 2021, which is likely to be almost 13 to 14 crore, depending on the marketing requirement and production facilities, which we are going to touch. Similarly, in the soya plant, we are having the new plant in place, so we are hopeful to generate more volume, maybe annually
next year.
Next year, because this year may not be having the impact, but 21-22 will be having the impact of almost
500 CR.
500 CR business volume on account of soya.
No, sir. I was asking what is the volume growth in this quarter? If you can give me a year-on-year figure like 10%, 15%, 20%, similarly for oilseeds business.
For oilseed business only?
No, oilseeds as well as poultry. If you can give me these two figures, it will be very helpful.
Okay, for December quarter, the growth is 5.24% in terms of the turnover, which comprises of 13.24% in the poultry and poultry products. Animal is 8.58%, and oilseed is little on the lower side. But in the forthcoming quarter, we are likely to have the similar number of 8 to 10% the poultry and poultry products, and animal health products same to the extent of 10%, and oilseed to the extent of 5% growth over the last quarter.
So the volume growth figure for the quarter for poultry would be how much? I didn't get that figure correctly.
Volume growth for the poultry.
Volume growth is to the extent of 10% in the forthcoming
10%.
quarter.
No, in this quarter, third quarter.
In this quarter, the volume.
Yes, growth.
Usually, Q2, as you all are aware, that there is some religious festivals, and because of which the number in Q2 is usually less. So, however, if you compare Q2 number with comparison of Q3 number, there is a big jump in as far as growth is concerned. If you compare Q2 growth to Q3 growth, of course, as far as this year is concerned, there was a big difference which was stated in first quarter, and the first quarter volume was very less because of different reasons, and that was related to lockdown and COVID related issues, which were make up. And if you compare this third quarter, the third quarter volume is almost coming back to pre-COVID level.
Okay, so it's coming back to the third quarter of financial year 20.
Yes.
Okay, and sir, basically what in oilseeds?
Oilseed also the same thing will be there, because now the soybean crop starts from October onwards. The new crop starts from October onwards. So October to March is basically a peak period of the processing. So we expect that it will be maintained.
No, sir, sorry. So basically in poultry, we are saying that the volumes, YOY volumes are flat, but this 13% growth that we are seeing in poultry is driven by higher realization. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And sir, oilseeds, my problem is that YOY oilseed prices are the same, but we have seen a decline of 3% in the turnover. So what is the reason?
The reason is the crushing is less. Actually, we are basically crusher, soybean crusher, and then refine the edible oil. So crushing was little bit down in this period.
Okay.
That is why the turnover is down.
Okay. And sir, my last question, nowadays we find a lot of, meat which is generated in the lab. We can say vegan meat or whatever. So, and the world is moving towards veganism. So, sir, how much of a threat do you find this kind of trend in your business?
As I explained to you by my colleague earlier, that as per the Indian statistics, about 70% of the population in India is non-vegetarian and 30% population is a vegetarian. And this is one side, the population. And now another story is the developed countries are eating, their consumption, per capita consumption of chicken is around 40 plus. And the world average is coming to 14 and we are about 4.5. So we expect a good growth in the consumption pattern, and which is basically the people prefer non-veg, and amongst the non-veg, how they curtail down the red meat and they are going for the chicken meat only for the reason for the nutritional value of a chicken. That is one concept. And not many, because of urbanization, not many new people will be joining, and the consumption we expect to be good. Now, when you say that lab-grown meat or the plant origin meat structure, these are the things which are already there in India. It's very premature to comment upon them, what will be the future of these concepts. Now people are evaluating on various sides. One is the nutritional value, and the second one is very importantly the cost of these products. When I also referred on the same parameters, that what would be the cost of lab-grown meat and the plant-grown meat, I expect it to be on a higher side. But of course, we'll have to wait for some time till the time this product is rolled out in the market, and then look for. Then it can be compared. Till that time, it's very difficult for me to comment upon that.
Okay. Thank you, sir, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dipesh from Equirus. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for my questions. Sir, in the poultry product segment...
sorry to interrupt, Mr. Dipesh. We are not able to hear you clearly, sir. Mr. Dipesh?
Yeah, can you hear?
No, sir, your audio is not clear. Can you use the handset mode while speaking?
I'm using handset mode, but...
Sir, you may please proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have lost the line for the current participant. We'll move on to the next participant. That is on the line of Anurag Patil from Roha Group. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, for this Venky's Express and Experience segment, what is the revenue contribution for 9 months period?
Poultry and poultry products includes the segment of Express also. So this segment has given us a good number of bottom line. From the last quarter, December 19, it was having a loss because of poor realization. But in this quarter, it has given a good number to the extent of 117.76 crore bottom line figure.
And sir, in terms of revenue contribution, can you give any ballpark number approximately?
Any percentage? So in this poultry and poultry products margin percentage, you see out of this express or food is related to the 2 to 5% is the margin. Contribution. Sorry, not margin, it's the contribution.
Okay. And sir, for a full-grown bird and check, what will be your typical cost of production on an average? Any ballpark number you can have?
you are asking about broiler cost of production, right?
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
As far as cost of production of broiler is concerned, there are basically three segments under that. One and important is the chick cost, second is the feed cost, and third is the medicine plus management cost. All that put together, the only thing which is most fluctuating sometimes is the feed cost. So if you compare the current cost of production of broiler, it is coming around 61 rupees to 66 rupees, depending on the performance and productivity of the broiler. So that is the range for cost of production from a well-managed farm. So that is the broiler cost of production.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the last question. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Anirudh Joshi for his closing comments.
Yeah, thanks, Lizan. We thank the management of Venky's India Limited for interacting with the investor and for an extremely insightful discussion. Now I hand over call back to the Venky's team, Mr. Rohan Bhagwat, for his closing comments. Thanks, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Joshi. I'll just hand over to Mr. Handa for his closing comments. Mr. Handa, hand over to you.
Thanks everyone for attending the first con call of Venky's. We hope we have answered all the questions. As I mentioned in the beginning and explained further in detail, we are reasonably confident that the worst is behind us as far as COVID pandemic and bird flu threats are concerned. All our business segments are performing well, and we hope to steady growth for Venky's in the years to come. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of ICICI Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.